Good afternoon, class. Okay, to begin, let me first introduce myself. So, I am Miss Andrea Martin, your English teacher for today. Okay, so before we start our class, let's have a prayer. So, I encourage everyone to please stand up. Okay, Joyce, please lead our prayer. Okay, thank you for that, Joyce. So class, before all of you take your seats, kindly pick up the pieces of trashes you see around. Okay, done. Now arrange your chair in accordance with its alignment. Okay, done. Okay, you may now all be seated. Okay, for our attendance, let's make it an attendance checking with a twist. Okay, so instead of saying a simple present, you must say your crush's name instead. Okay, so a crush can be someone you are infatuated with or someone you idolize. So it can be a person around or a celebrity. Okay, clear class? Okay, thank you. Okay, let's start. Okay, as we are done with our attendance, I want to ask, how are you feeling today? Is everyone feeling good today? Okay, so is everyone well? Is everyone feeling well? Is everyone ready to learn? Okay, great. So now that we are done with our attendance, let me remind you of our simple class rules that must be followed inside our classroom. Okay, class, remember to listen, respect each other, and stay engaged. Is that clear, class? Okay, very good. Okay, so before we proceed deeper with our discussion, okay, let us first look back and recall on what we have discussed during our previous topic or previous lesson. So, can anyone remember it? Yes, Zoe. Okay. Okay, very good. So, and to formally define it, what is poetry? Any other hands? Yes, Shane. Okay, great. So, always mark in your mind that unlike prose, which is written in sentences or paragraphs, poetry follows a certain structure and rhythm. Is that clear? Is that clear, everyone? Okay, so how about the simple or the basic parts or elements of poetry that we discussed previously or last meeting? So who can identify or who can name them? Yes, Jeffrey. Okay. Okay, great. So it shows that you really did listen in our class meeting. So good job, everyone. So for our activity, so I name our activity the poem club puzzle. Okay, as I said, the name of our activity is the poem clock puzzle. So I will give you this activity, but I will not reveal its goal yet. Okay, so I will divide you into 4 groups through counting. All right? Okay, so Joseph, you are the one who will start the count. So you are the number 1. So count as 1. Okay, now that you already have your designated groups, kindly go to your respective group silently, okay, and create a circle. Okay, settle down. Okay, class, listen carefully to the instruction that I will instruct to all of you. Okay, so every group is assigned to one topic. So all of you have your designated groups, and you um you have the topic for number group 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the instruction is to create a poetry. So your poetry must be in the first line, it must be short. For the second line, it must be long, while the third line must be short as well. Okay, clear? Okay. Take note of that, take note of that, ha? Okay, so each group is required to write a simple poem. So it will be written on board. So during the presentation of your work, the poem will be read aloud through clapping the syllables of each line instead of simply reading it. So listen carefully and participate actively as each group presents their work. Okay, respect when someone is talking in front. Class, it's alright if your output is not well structured, since we are gradually opening to our discussion that we will discuss later on. So it is okay if your work is not yet perfect. Okay? Clear, class? Okay. So each group output will be assessed based on the criteria that I will set. So listen carefully or take notes of the criteria that I will say. So we have the content, okay? So 3 points if your ideas are clear and directly related to the given topic. 2 points if your ideas are somewhat related to the topic. And the lowest score is 1 point if your ideas are unclear or not related to the topic. So we have the number 2, the structure. So 5 points if your output is correctly followed the required 3-line format. 3 points if there are some minor errors that is not follows the structure. And the lowest point is 1 point if it does not follow the required structure. And lastly, we have the cooperation. Okay, 2 points if all members actively participated. 1 point if some members participated, and 0 point if limited or no participation at all. Okay, clear? Clear with our rubrics? Okay, thank you. So I will give you 5 minutes to complete the task and another 5 minutes to present your poem. So clear, class? Okay, you may now start. Okay, class. Are you done and ready to present? Okay, let's begin the clapping of syllables with the work of our first group. Okay? So now that we are done with our activity, let's go back to the activity we did. So, what observation did you make or did you think regarding the structure or rhythm of your lines during our clapping sessions? Yes, Joseph. Okay. Okay, very good. So, what do you think was the intention behind organizing your thoughts in that particular manner? Yes, Glenn. Okay. Okay, thank you. So great. Have you ever encountered or listened to something like like this type of concise structure writing before? Anyone? Yes, Chris. Okay. So yes, we're very close. That's exactly what we are about to discover. So the goal of this exercise was for you to investigate the, the organization of words through rhythm and structure, as well as to enhance your awareness of syllables within language. So did you know that there is a certain type of poetry that that really reflects what you witnessed today? Oh, so this particular form of poetry is called haiku. Okay? So, so a haiku is a concise poetic form that adheres to a 5-7-5 syllable structure. So it is frequently depicting through nature's fleeting moments or straightforward life experiences. Is that clear? So before we delve deeper to our discussion, I will introduce first our learning objectives. So at the end of the lesson, so can everybody reads. Okay. How about this? And lastly, okay, thank you, very good. So that is our goal, and that is our goal, and diving through our discussion. So now that we know our topic, let us deeply analyze the three famous haiku written by Matsuo, Basho. Okay, so the three elements of the work will be examined through their composed meaning and structured design, as well as their fundamental message. Oh, so are you ready to gain deeper knowledge, class? Okay. So the moon in the sky is turned into a wanderer by the rainy night. So that line is one of the work of Matsuo Basho. So first, let us observe its structure. So upon observing to what I said, how many lines does that line of poem contain? Yes, Chris? Okay, very good. So now, let us count the syllables one by one to check if that poem follows the specific correct pattern, which is the 575 pattern. Okay, so that 575 pattern is what we have done with our activity. Okay, so for the line number 1, take note, ha. Okay, so the moon in the sky. So how many syllables in that line? The moon in the sky. So how many? Okay, very good. 5 syllables. So how about the second line? Is turned into a wanderer. So count it with yourself. Okay. Okay, how many? Very good, 7 syllables. So how about the line number 3? By the rainy night. By the rainy night. So how many? 5. So does it follow the traditional 5-7-5 pattern? Okay, thank you. So what elements or scenes comes to your mind when you first hear this? Yes, Eins? Okay, very well. So how about the feeling that it made us feel, or it brings out? Yes, Glenn? Okay, yes. That's the real that really hits it big as far as knowing nature. So no matter how dark or any weather condition. So let's proceed to another part. So I will tell you the second part. So take note, class. Okay, so autumn wind blows over the ancient graves, stillness remains. So let us analyze this piece. So first, let us confirm its structure again to know if it also follows the 5-7-5 pattern. So for line number 1, what I said. Okay, autumn the wind blows. So how many syllables is that? Okay, very good. 5 syllables. How about the line number 2? Okay, so what about the line number 3? Okay, so does it follow, class? Okay, very good. So what is the most essential thing that the poet is trying to express with the poem? Anyone? Any other hand? Yes, Joyce? Okay, very good. So great. So your understanding of what we did is very well. So the main theme of this week is to explore the cycle of life and death together with the eternal or lasting peace that persists. So how about this? So Kuko. So how about this? So Kuko sings loud. Kuko sings loud, piercing through the dark night, sound of the wild. So count it with yourself and find out if it follows a 5-7-5 pattern. Okay, great. So do you have any idea what piercing through the dark night means? Yes, Crystal? Okay, very good. So how does this poem differ from the other poem? Or how does this poem differ from the two we discussed or we count earlier? So what kind of feeling or atmosphere does it create upon hearing it? Yes, Janelle. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So now, class, the evolu- the evaluation started when you explicitly demonstrated your understanding of haiku through 5-7-5 pattern. So which you use to display its different structural elements. So let's delve more into its contents and materials. Let's delve more into its contents and materials that will be examined further during our discussion. Okay, now that we are done analyzing the specific poem line by line, let us deepen our understanding by discussing the three masterpieces of Matsuo Basho. Class, can you read this slide? Okay. Okay, thank you. So, Basho wasn't always a poet. He was once a wanderer. So, he once said, oh, go to the pine to learn of the pine. So, what do you think he meant by that? Yes, yes, Kenneth. Okay, exactly. So, he believed that seeing a thing for exactly what it is without adding your own drama. So why is that hard for people? Yes, Janelle. Okay, right. So Basho lived in a small hut with a banana tree outside. So he liked it because it was useless. So it didn't bear edible fruit, and it leaves tore easily. So he liked it because it was sensitive to the wind and rain. It responds it responded to what? To nature. So how can we be like that banana tree in our writing? Yes, Shane? Okay, so thank you. Very good. So what can you say about his artwork? Yes, Glenn. Okay. Alright, very good. So now that we understand the life and philosophy of Matsuo Basho, let us first define what haiku is. So Sarah, can you read this slide? Okay, please read this slide. Okay. Exactly. So haiku started in Japan a time ago during the 15th century. So it was during the time of Matsuo Basho that haiku becomes really popular and just right. So Matthew, can you read the next slide? Okay, thank you. Now class, what is the important rule regarding the structure of haiku? So that is the thing we did earlier with our activity, with our introduction of the lesson. Yes, Chelsea. Okay, very good. That so that 575 rule. So what we need to remember in that rule is that the first line of the poem must have 5 syllables, right? So how about the second line? Great. So it must be 7 syllables. How about the third line? Okay, very good. So is that clear, class? Any question? Okay, thank you. So haiku is really special because it has some unique things that the other poem just do not have. So what is the term for the particular word, a word or expression used in haiku to denote the season or time of the year during which we describe events occurred? Okay. So that is Kigo class. So it is also known as the seasonal reference. So it is the Kigo. Okay. So Mr. Basihan, kindly read our slide. Okay, so how about the other important underlying conceptual construct that mark or pause that ultimately separate these images or ideas? Very good. It seems that you really read our readings class. So what is the kereji or the cutting word? Okay, Miss Kaaya, can you read our slide? Okay. So class, note this. Haiku requires more than syllables, counting, and words. Okay, so it is the so again, haiku requires more than syllables, counting, and word arrangement and definition. The poem's technical structure reflects the essence of Japanese culture through its depiction of nature and the way of life, and also their connection to the living beings. So the heritage belongs to them as their traditional knowledge provide us with life lesson and cultural understanding which we can use in our personal growth. Okay, so now let's look at his most famous work. So it is the Haiku 152. So then now, can you read our Haiku 152? Okay, thank you. So Basho doesn't say he is lonely. He just shows the pond. Okay, clear? So what does the imagery of the sound of water do you do to your ears? Yes, talabo. Okay, that is a technically move called kereji. So what is kereji? Very good. It is the cutting word. So what very good. It is the cutting word. So what is the kereji or seasonal word here? Yes, Paula. Correct. It moves from sight to sound. So what would happen to the mood if the frog just sat there? Yes, Edward. Okay, very good. Thank you. So now let's view it in the lens of Higo using the Haiku 668. So, Chris, can you read the Haiku 668? Okay, so what is the Kigo here? Based on our definition earlier. Yes, Sam? Okay, very good. So, in Haiku tradition, autumn is the season of declining or passing. So, which perfectly aligns with our with the settings of graveyard. So now, let's understand the tone of the haiku. So, who can tell me the tone of haiku 668? Yes, Christy. Very good. How about the mood? Yes, Jeffrey. Good point. So, lastly, can anyone tell me the imagery or symbolism used by Basho in this haiku? Yes, Abril. Oh, okay. Thank you. Very good. So, Basho teaches us that nature is a mirror. So, please read the slide, Ms. Kaligan. Okay, so if we look closely at a wanderer, moon in the rim in haiku 240, so what are we actually seeing? Based on what Ms. Kadigal did. Yes, Shane. Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Vargas. So the purpose of the author isn't just to describe a frog or a movie, but to capture a haiku moment, a flash of realization. So it is a story of haiku or a photograph. So class, let's see if you can develop your own photograph through our group analysis. Okay, now that you have enough knowledge of haiku, after we have studied its different definition and structural components, and as well as defining its characteristics, let's apply it into our activity. So our activity named Deep Dive. Okay, so here is the instruction. Okay, Shane, can you read our instruction? Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. So, class, please remember all the rules and important points which we discussed earlier, okay? So, I will group you into 3 groups through counting again. So, Joseph, so you will be also the one who will start the countings, or you will be the number 1. Okay, proceed. Okay, now that you have already your designated groups, so for our group 1, so you have you will be having hike 152. So the pond observe. So your task, the pond observers. So your task is to create a sound map. So draw the pond and label where the kiraji occurs. Okay. So for our group 2, your assigned is the Haiku 240. So it is the moon stickers. So your task is to identify the kigo and explain how the rainy night affects its mood. Okay, clear? So for our group 3, you will be having the Haiku 668, so the grave gardens. So your task is to analyze the contrast between wind and stillness. So understood, class? Okay, so you have 5 minutes to do your task, and after that, you need to choose one representative to present your ideas in front. Okay? You may now start. Okay, thank you for participating, class. Now, I am sure that all of you have understood the lesson as you have shown through our group presentation, your ability to identify and explain what we discussed for today. So, before we move on to our quiz, let's us first have a quick review of what we have learned today. So, class, can anyone define what is haiku again? So, anyone? Yes, Narhayna. Okay, very good. So, now, what is the pattern we always follow when writing or written a haiku? Yes, Bolalin? Okay, great. So how about the pattern that gives haiku its rhythm and balance? Anyone? Yes, Shane. Very good. So how about the one that serves as a pause or separator? Yes, Quebec. Okay, thank you. Now, it seems that everyone has fully gained your knowledge through our discussion. So, you will surely do great since you are already familiar with the haiku, with haiku parts. Okay, class. Now let's move on to our short quiz. So take 1/4 sheet of paper and write your answer carefully. So make sure to read each question and answer the best of your ability. So for the part 1 of our quiz, it is true or false. So you may now start. Okay, done. For the part 2, it is identification. Okay, so you may now start again. Okay, done. Okay, kindly exchange your paper with your seatmates. Okay, listen carefully, ha. So for our number 1, the correct answer is what? Correct, it's false. How about number 2? Okay, very good. The answer is true. So how about number 3? Very good, it's false. How about number 4? Yes, it's true. How about the last number 5? Great, it's true. So for our second part, the number 1, the correct answer for number 1 is very good, it is Haiku. How about number 2? Very good, it's Matsuo, Basho. How about number 3? Okay, it is the pattern that must be followed. It is the 5-7-5 pattern. How about number 4? Okay, great. It is Higo. Number 5. Okay, very good. Okay, before we end our class, here is your assignment. So, here's the direction. Okay, so write a haiku poem. So, it must follow the 5-7-5 syllables pattern. And your topic is about nature or your surroundings. That's your class. Okay, so thank you class for listening and participating. So class dismissed.